Ever tried collaborating on a project, only to get lost in a mess of file versions, endless email threads, and the confusion of not knowing who has the latest update? It's a familiar struggle for anyone who's worked on a team project, whether you're in design, marketing, or product development. Figma solved that headache by bringing everyone together in one place, making collaboration smoother and more intuitive than ever before. At its core, Figma is design software, but it's also a real-time, web-based collaboration platform that lets teams work together seamlessly, no matter where they are in the world. Imagine Google Docs, but for visual projects, websites, apps, presentations, where everyone can work together, live, seeing changes unfold instantly. No downloads, no confusion. Just log in and see your teammates' cursors moving on the same screen, collaborating in real time. You can comment, edit, and brainstorm together wherever you are, whether you're in the same office or halfway across the globe. Figma made teamwork seamless and even fun. It turned what used to be a chore into an engaging, creative process. What's remarkable is how Figma broke out of the designer-only box, welcoming people from all backgrounds and departments. Marketing, product, even executives use it to create, review, and give feedback, making the design process more inclusive and transparent. Figma's philosophy is simple. Design should be accessible to everyone, because good ideas can come from anywhere, not just the design team. This inclusivity turned Figma into a beloved tool across industries, from tech startups to global enterprises, and even in education. Founded in 2012 by Dylan Field and Evan Wallace, Figma's relentless focus on user experience and community built a passionate following. That foundation set the stage for one of Wall Street's most exciting stories, as Figma became a symbol of modern collaboration. Figma isn't just a tool, it's a movement that changed how teams create together, inspiring a new era of creativity and connection. An IPO, short for Initial Public Offering, is a major milestone in the life of any company. It's the moment when a private business decides to go public, selling shares to everyday investors for the very first time. This process transforms a company from being owned by a select group of founders, employees, and early investors to being owned by the public at large. It's a huge leap, often years in the making, and it marks the company's official debut on the stock market stage. For the company, it's like stepping into the spotlight, an introduction to the world and a chance to raise massive amounts of capital to fuel future growth. Figma's IPO on July 31, 2025 was especially significant. After the tech boom of 2020 and 2021, the IPO market had cooled off dramatically, with few big names daring to go public. Investors and analysts were waiting for a sign that the tech sector was ready to heat up again, and Figma's decision to list was seen as a bold move. The anticipation was electric. Journalists, investors, and tech enthusiasts all watched closely, wondering if Figma could reignite the market's enthusiasm. The company became a symbol of hope for a new wave of innovation and growth. Investment banks reported that demand for Figma's shares was off the charts, 40 times oversubscribed to be exact. In practical terms, that meant for every single share available, 40 eager buyers were lined up, hoping to get a piece of the action. It was a frenzy that Wall Street hadn't seen in a while. But this IPO was about more than just raising money. It was a powerful signal that optimism was returning to the tech industry, and that investors were ready to believe in big ideas again. For months, headlines had been dominated by stories of layoffs, budget cuts, and uncertainty. Figma's IPO, however, felt like a breath of fresh air, a turning point that could inspire other companies to follow suit. NYSE President Lynn Martin even remarked that Figma's success might open the floodgates for a new wave of tech IPOs, potentially reshaping the market's outlook for the rest of the year. As the big day approached, all eyes were glued to Figma. The company was under a microscope, with every move scrutinized by the media and investors alike. How Figma performed on its first day would send a powerful message to the entire market about the future of tech innovation and investor confidence. The pressure was intense, but the excitement was even bigger. The atmosphere was electric, with everyone hoping for a strong debut. Figma's IPO wasn't just a financial event, it was a cultural moment for the entire tech community, a celebration of resilience and innovation. The industry was ready for a comeback, and with Figma leading the charge, a new chapter for tech was about to begin. On IPO day, the energy was electric. The streets around the New York Stock Exchange buzzed with anticipation as investors, analysts, and tech enthusiasts gathered to witness what many believed would be a historic moment for the industry. Figma priced its shares at $33, already above expectations. This initial price reflected the immense confidence investors had in Figma's vision and growth potential, setting the stage for what was to come. But when trading began under the ticker FIG, the stock exploded, opening at $85. The trading floor erupted in excitement as the price soared far beyond even the most optimistic forecasts. The frenzy was so intense, trading was briefly halted as prices soared. Traders scrambled to keep up, and the market paused to catch its breath amid the chaos. Figma's stock shot past $100, closing the day at $115.50, a 250% jump. The closing bell rang out over a jubilant crowd, marking one of the most remarkable first-day performances in recent memory. If you'd bought at the IPO price, your investment more than tripled in hours. Early investors saw their faith rewarded almost instantly, as portfolios swelled with unprecedented gains. Figma instantly became a Wall Street darling, ending the day valued near $68 billion. Analysts scrambled to update their forecasts, and the company's name dominated financial headlines. The IPO raised $1.2 billion, fueling future growth and innovation. With this capital, Figma could accelerate its roadmap, invest in new features, and expand globally. Lead underwriters like Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs pulled off a blockbuster deal. Their expertise helped guide Figma through the complexities of going public, ensuring a smooth and successful debut. Figma celebrated with a block party, honoring its community and collaborative spirit. Employees, users, and supporters gathered to mark the occasion, reflecting on the journey that brought them here. The day was more than a financial win. It validated Figma's vision. For the founders, it was a testament to years of hard work, risk-taking, and belief in the power of design collaboration. It signaled the tech industry's revival, with Figma at the forefront. The IPO inspired other startups, showing that innovation and bold ideas could still capture the market's imagination. Figma's debut wasn't just successful, it was unforgettable. The confetti, the cheers, and the flashing cameras captured a moment that would be remembered for years. The company had arrived, and everyone was watching. From Wall Street to Silicon Valley, all eyes were on Figma's next move. This was a new chapter for tech on Wall Street, a bold statement that the future belonged to those willing to dream big and build together. What makes Figma so popular? Its broad appeal. By early 2025, over 13 million people used Figma monthly, and two-thirds weren't professional designers. Giants like Google, Microsoft, Netflix, and Uber rely on Figma daily. For them, it's essential infrastructure, not just a nice-to-have. Over 1,000 clients pay more than $100,000 a year for Figma's services, but Figma also empowers startups, small businesses, and freelancers with its free tier. It levels the playing field, letting anyone use top-tier design tools. Students, hobbyists, and nonprofits use Figma for everything from assignments to advocacy. A vibrant community creates tutorials, templates, and plugins, making Figma even more powerful. Figma's greatest asset? Its passionate, diverse user base. Amid IPO hype, CEO Dylan Field kept his focus clear. Share price is a moment in time. At 33, Field is one of tech's most influential leaders, but he's all about the long game. In his IPO letter, he urged investors to think in decades, not quarters. Field's priority: build a company that innovates and serves customers for the long haul. Figma's culture is customer first, listening, improving, and building community. Field believes great products drive financial success, not the other way around. Even after becoming a billionaire, he structured ownership to keep guiding Figma's mission. His leadership is about lasting value, not chasing short-term numbers. Field's vision: make design accessible to everyone for decades to come. Figma's journey almost took a different turn with Adobe's $20 billion acquisition attempt in 2022. Regulators blocked the deal, fearing it would stifle competition and innovation. The merger collapsed, and Adobe paid Figma a $1 billion breakup fee. For many, this would be a setback. But for Figma, it was a blessing. With independence and extra cash, Figma doubled down on innovation. They launched 4 major new products, expanding beyond design into whiteboards and project management. The failed deal became a catalyst, not a crisis. Figma proved it was more than a single product company. The breakup made Figma stronger, more ambitious, and perfectly positioned for its explosive IPO. Sometimes the best outcome is the one you fight to build yourself. Figma's IPO sent shockwaves through tech and finance. Early investors like Index Ventures and Greylock saw their stakes turn into billions. Co-founder Evan Wallace donated a portion of his shares, giving $440 million to a community foundation. The IPO's success inspired optimism across Silicon Valley. Suddenly, other private tech companies saw a green light to go public. Figma broke the ice, proving investors were hungry for high-growth tech stories. The broader market took notice. Figma's debut was a bellwether for tech's health. Analysts shifted from pessimism to excitement. Figma's IPO wasn't just a payday, it reignited belief in innovation. Figma's IPO is a blueprint for the next wave of tech companies. It showed investors want more than quick profits. They want great products and long-term vision. Figma's collaborative-first approach is now the gold standard for software. The future is about tools that bring teams together, not just individuals. Figma's resilience after the failed Adobe deal is a lesson for startups. Setbacks can fuel even greater success. Independence let Figma innovate freely and build on its own terms. The IPO signals a new era, one focused on quality, not hype. Investors will look for the next Figma-proven products, strong business models, and industry-defining potential. Figma's story is about more than money. It's about building something that lasts. The bar for tech IPOs has been raised. Figma's journey from startup to $68 billion giant is a testament to the power of a good idea. Dylan Field and Evan Wallace set out to solve a real problem, not just chase trends. Figma grew through word of mouth and a passionate community, not flashy ads. The company redefined who can be a creator, making design accessible to all. Figma's inclusive approach led to better products and more innovation. The story proves that empowering more people leads to better outcomes for everyone. Figma's IPO is more than a financial milestone. It's a story of vision, resilience, and community. It's breathed new life into tech and inspired a new generation of entrepreneurs. Even in a complex world, a simple mission, make creativity collaborative, can change everything. Figma's legacy is built on connection, not just code.